My first ever pricing client was GE Information Services, and we got called because the product management and marketing organization had developed a new pricing strategy. But when they turned it over to sales, it fell on deaf ears. My name is Tim, and this is the third video in my Critical Questions series. The question for this video is, what must you do to enable sales and channel success? I love salespeople. There's not a more entrepreneurial and creative bunch in the organization. And they go out every single day and they're heroes in the field, and they close business so that everybody else in the organization has a job. But when it comes to pricing, they're just not the most receptive bunch. And to be fair, it's particularly an issue when it comes to big changes in pricing. Our job as pricing directors is to take on the responsibility for doing what we must in order to enable sales and channel success. The best way I know how to explain the process is to go through some examples. In the first case, our analysis revealed that our client was losing money on 20% of their customers. These were customers where pricing concessions just got out of hand. The challenge for us was that we had to go to salespeople and tell them that 1 out of 5 of their customers was losing money, and they needed to do something about that. So we looked at the list of customers and we identified the relevant salespeople and reviewed those accounts with them. The question for us, as in pricing, was how are we going to plan the set of activities that need to be taken by sales in order to improve the situation, and how are we going to take progress? We worked with our client to model the situation and set pricing targets for each account. And then we trained the sales organization to use the model that we had built so they could track their progress by identifying those accounts and working collaboratively with the sales organization to solve them. The company generated $75 million in incremental revenues. Case number 2. Trade-off research revealed that customers are willing to pay 5 times what sales management believes is possible. In this case, sales simply refused to take the product to market. This is not an unusual situation. If you're doing your job right as a pricing director, and your company's bringing innovative, value-creating new offerings to market, then sometimes the value created by those new offerings can be remarkable, and customers' willingness to pay may be significantly higher than anybody thought possible. In those cases, you've got to understand it, sales will be skeptical. So what do you need to do? In this case, product management needed to prove that the pricing was valid. So they went out and took this software and services offering out to market, called on customers, and made 2 sales at the target price in order to prove to the sales organization that the price was legitimate and something they could count on to earn a living. In this case, over time, sales did take it on, did succeed in selling the product, and over time, this product became one of the leading contributors to profitability for the company. In the third case, we need to transition from sales to channel partners. In this case, our client sold all of their products and services through channel partners. They had no direct sales to customers. They created a new offering that was really a step change in performance and value delivered for their customers. Unfortunately, this new offering required a set of skills that their channel partners simply did not have. In fact, it was so bad that 9 out of 10 of their channel partners could not deliver the new offering. In this case, the pricing director worked with the product manager and with the channel manager in order to rethink how the products could be sold through channels. Instead of having a single-tier channel system, they decided on a 2-tier system where the minority of partners who could do the work were assigned one set of tasks in order to launch the product, and the second tier of partners were brought on board later in the process, after they've had significant training and they could pick up the ball from the initial partners. We've gone through 3 cases in some detail, and so let me share now with you the simple framework that I use when I ask the question, what must I do to enable sales and channel success to implement our pricing strategy? Number 1, develop the capabilities of the sales and channel organization. And in some cases, that includes building trust, because unless they believe they can be successful with your value and pricing strategy, it's hard pressed. It's easy for sales to find something better to do. Let's put it that way. Number 2, anchor those capabilities with tools and processes. It's simple enough to learn something. We all know that half of what you learn is lost the day after you learn it. And probably 70 to 80% is lost within a week. So whatever capabilities you develop with your sales organization, those need to be anchored with tools that they can use to accomplish their goal and a process that they should follow in order to achieve the desired end. Number 3, controls need to be established. That is, policies and guidelines that not only govern sales behavior, but govern sales management behavior. Very often what we see is that the controls are in place for sales, but it's the sales managers who want to bend the rules. So, controls need to be established in a collaboration between finance and sales management that both provide necessary governance while simultaneously providing the flexibility that sales needs. 4th, good pricing behavior needs to be incentivized. Salespeople daily put their earnings at risk by being in the sales profession. So if we want them to practice good pricing, we need to recognize and reward the good work that they do on our behalf. For the next video in this series on critical questions, please check here.